Why are you single? I'm a physically ugly dude who generally dates by having people get to know me for a while, look past my looks and develop feelings for me. Post-university this has been extremely difficult, as I don't have enough people coming through my life despite my best efforts, and doubly so in a dating market that is so thoroughly warped by looks-based online dating. Oof, I felt this one. Meeting people in university is easy. Meeting someone when you're working 10-11 hour days, 5 days a week is a little more difficult, and depending on your job, you need to keep it professional both in the office and with customers. As an introvert, weekends are for recovering from the work week and staying away from people, so spending enough time with someone in a friend setting getting to know each other doesn't naturally happen anymore. Because I always want to be in a relationship until it comes to the relationship part. Heavy sigh. I don't connect with people very well. I have a hard time talking to people I care about normal things, and I have an even harder time talking to them about my feelings. On top of that, I have really bad social anxiety and I don't have a lot of friends, so the chances of me actually getting in a relationship is basically zero. After my last relationship, I decided to take a break from actively dating and enjoy time with friends and family, as most people do. Well, weeks stretched into months and before I knew it, I was loving the time with myself and spending the time solely on pursuits that made me happy. I lose count, but I am somewhere around 2.53 years since my last actual, committed, defined relationship, and so far, every date I have gone on just reinforces my current thinking that I am really comfortable with myself and enjoy being fully in control of my time life. Dude, this hit me. I'm in the same boat. The longer I stay single, the more I enjoy it. I don't have a lot going for me. In all honesty, I'm not particularly good looking. Dad bod. Currently unemployed as a certified EMT despite Rona because everywhere needs at least a year of experience. I know having a job isn't necessarily a big deal, but it's a matter of self-esteem. I base my worth on my productivity and it tanks my confidence because I don't want to seem like a lazy bum and I don't exactly have a lot to prove in the other direction. Because I have no energy to go back on dating apps, and it's hard to meet people organically at the moment because of the whole pandemic thing. Also, I'm going through a weird period where I'm having to rethink my whole life and what I'm doing with it, and rebuild my self-confidence. And it's not really I'd rather get my crap together beforehand. I fancy someone who fancies me back but is 9 years younger, a touring musician. I'm 101% not someone I can see myself having a stable long-term thing with. I'm currently struggling with my music career and life in general, and he's a very successful artist, so a recipe for disaster. I am controlling myself trying not to go down that spiral, but it isn't easy. Thanks Reddit strangers. It felt good writing all this down. Bro, very relatable comment. I think it's not uncommon to fear starting a new relationship when you don't feel like you are your best self. The people like us will get there eventually. I had the entire family thing. She did me wrong and ended it. Then several turns with cancer later, nobody is gonna be interested in a non-talking, tube feeding old man that's on constant pain meds. So I'll stay single even if surgeries manage to sort the medical crap. I'm happy alone. I do hang out with my kids when my health allows and that's all I need. Sending you a huge internet hug, internet friend. I hope all of these things you're going through work out for the positive, however a positive is viewed for you. I'm glad you have family around where you can hang out with your kids when possible. Because I'm an idiot and just fell for the ones that already have someone else, and if not, I'm afraid to express my feelings. Bro, when it comes to expressing your feelings, just do it. If you get embarrassed or made fun of, who gives a dang or two? In 50 years nobody will give half a frick if you got rejected. It's happened to us all. In 500, 5,000, 5 million years nobody will remember you or how asking out made you embarrassed or got made fun of for it or anything, so go out and freaking do it because you will regret if you don't, and if you find the one along the way, all the better. They don't know you have feelings, unless you are obvious about it, until you tell them. Hearts will be broken and it will hurt like all heck, but it builds us to be stronger people and find better ones down the road. Tell her, bro. I just figure there's something wrong with me. I'm 26 and I've never been on a date. I've tried talking to girls in person and online and it always goes nowhere or leads to me getting ghosted, which is why I've just concluded there's something wrong with me. I have no clue what it is, but it must be there. Online dating is really hard, friend. Try not to beat yourself up too much. I too am 26 and have never been on a date, but that doesn't mean you won't find someone. You're still so young, and there's no time limit on love. I know that's corny and it doesn't stop the loneliness, but there's nothing wrong with you. This world of online dating just makes things so hard. I'm fat, working on it, and I don't have many opportunities to meet people, as is often the case for us folks in entering our 30s. I work remotely so I can't even meet people that way, at least not ones I can hang out with. Because while I portray copious amounts of confidence, I am incredibly insecure. Also I'm average looking at best. Because I thought that she wanted a hard-working, successful husband, so I worked all the time and took her for granted. Never asked what she really wanted. Trashed a 26-year relationship because I made assumptions. Communication is important. Because I like it that way, I'm at peace with becoming a spinster. I'm happier when I'm independent, when I only have to take myself into account whenever I make important choices. It feels liberating not to have to pay much mind to attracting the attention of potential suitors. Plus, people expect me to adopt lots of cats and who would I be to disappoint them? Spinster Cat Lady Club represent. I do enjoy the financial benefits of sharing a household with someone though. So I'm wondering if I can find another single person to share one of those houses where you can live essentially separately but keep an eye out for each other and share rent utilities. There are some organizations that set that up for over 60s, but not for middle-aged people, so not sure how to go about it. Because I never put any effort in putting myself out there. I know I am pretty decent but I don't stand out in any way, so why should anyone want me? Just seems like a huge hassle to try to put myself out there, face a boatload of rejection, maybe get on a few dates, but I am pretty sure I wouldn't be able to make a relationship last. I feel this. I wouldn't consider myself above average in any way, except for height. Just not sure how anyone would get to know me and think, yeah, that's who I want to do life with. It's not that I'm awful, I'm clean, debt free, make decent money, not a total uggo, play music, live on my own, etc. I'm just not interesting. Because I have complex PTSD. Even though my looks are okay 7/10, dating is very complicated because of all my past traumas. My body does not associate physical touch with pleasure but with danger. I hope to heal soon though. Same. Still 16. 26 years later. Here's to healing. I'm not very attractive or sociable. Also low self-esteem. I grew up overweight, bullied, and depressed. So how I look now doesn't matter. I've lost a lot of weight since graduation, met some nice people online, and was sucked into my hobbies to the point of dependency. I had a date that was going very well, and then she left after seeing my house. When she saw I had a spare room full of Lego boxes, Pokemon games, and Japanese toys from a show I watch, she left. She wanted a man, not a boy. I cried for so long after that incident. I never dated after that night. Since then, I've cut off almost all social interaction besides childhood friends, family, and co-workers, in that order. Better to find out right away that you're not a good match, right? Instead of after getting more attached. Don't let this experience stop you. Make sure to stay open-minded with the folks you meet, and you'll soon meet someone who is open-minded and excited to welcome your whole self to their life. I enjoy doing exactly what I want whenever I want. Oh, and I'm terrified of getting hurt again, so I avoid relationships like the plague. Taking care of my ill mother. Women my age are turned off because you still live with your mom. As if I'm a freeloader. I pay for everything and support the household. God forbid I am a decent son taking care of my mother in what are likely her last few years. You don't deserve those kind of people. You deserve someone who understands your situation. I don't get approached by any guys. All the guys I like don't seem interested. I need to work on myself too. I'm also a crappy person. I mean, As a bi guy, I also don't get approached by any guys cause I look straight AF. Just approach them and they'll be often pleasantly surprised or super homophobic, but that don't apply to you. Honestly, I think I just lost hope at this point. I'm rarely attracted to anyone, but 2 last times I actually dated a guy, they all of a sudden ghost me. I don't know if I'm such a crap person or this is how dating is nowadays. Hooking up and anything casual is not for me. I believed in true love, but I guess it's not for me to experience it. I'm okay with being single. I can't imagine to just be with someone just because. Now I do what I want. I'm not ashamed to go alone on a concert, movie, museum, sports event, etc. I have hobbies and I'm never bored with spending time by myself. Getting ghosted is the worst. The ghoster is usually too immature or scared to say what they feel, but ultimately anyone who would ghost someone isn't worth being with in the first place. You aren't the crap person in the scenario, and that's for certain. Because I got divorced and I haven't tried dating anyone else, and to be honest I don't plan on ever dating anyone again. I tried as hard as I could to make my marriage work and I failed. I won't ever let anyone get close to me again. Same boat. I was with him 27 years. Total. He cheated, then threw me away like I was garbage. I tried so hard to make things better, but they were not salvageable. I wasted 3 years turning myself inside out and upside down for a person who just wasn't fazed by any of it. In that 3 years I was you, right now, married, living in the same house, but feeling like I was sitting on a smoking rubble pile. That was my old life, and one I had loved. It took a long time for me to stand up and walk away from that mess. Healing hasn't been overnight and hasn't come easily, but it has come. I decided I was going to be happy. Not married, not single, just happy. And I went after whatever made me happy. I'm dating again, but only to the extent that it makes me happy. I'm not necessarily looking for a partner. I don't know what I believe about finding love again, but I did find happiness by focusing on me and not my tragedy. If I find love again, it won't be at the expense of my personal happiness, because that's just too precious a jewel to give away. I am not in a place mentally to have that sort of relationship right now. Not to mention that I am perfectly happy with the direction I'm trending, and I am kind of nervous that if I was to jump into a relationship, I will be forced to give up my baseball, CDs, and figurine collections, much less other things I enjoy. Maybe it's just me being paranoid, but I don't think it's my time yet. It's okay, take your time. It will come to you if you're ready, and focus on yourself first. Basically, unresolved and untreated childhood trauma makes me a walking giant red flag to possible partners and friends alike. Had to move in to take care of my mom with Parkinson's after my dad passed away. Also have joint custody of my special needs son, so between that and work don't really have time. Childhood trauma and my personal problems. Have never dated or had a relationship. Afraid of intimacy because of said childhood trauma. I hope to someday get over it and experience being in love. I believe I will die before that though, and I've accepted it. I'm happy for people who are in love and in healthy relationships. It's beautiful, but I won't have it for myself. I honestly don't really see the appeal of being in a relationship. Seems like some people are really happy with it, but most couples I know just fight all the time and don't even seem to like each other. I can't imagine hanging out with the same person every day, which might make me crazy, but whatever. I enjoy living alone and have lots of friends that give me the social interaction I need. I've accepted I'm not the norm and my family thinks something is wrong with me, which could possibly be true, but I don't feel unhappy. I am not ready for a commitment and my feelings are not stable for anything or anyone, and I need to heal from past childhood trauma to learn to love someone properly. Came here to say just about the same thing. Some people feel like half a person when they are not with somebody. Some people feel like half a person when they are. I don't need to be constantly told what I should and shouldn't be by somebody else. Never thought of it that way. Thanks. I'm socially awkward as frick. Can't take a hint because I have a thick skull, and I'm personally not in a financial position that I would want to be in. Although it would be nice to have someone, now's just not the right time for me. One day. Because I'm happy just meeting new people and seeing how things develop right now. If someone comes along that makes me want a relationship again, I'm open to it, but I'm not worried about making it happen. Better for those things to develop naturally. I'm not very well mentally. Every time I date, I end up suicidal at some point. These are my hangups, and have little to nothing to do with the women I date. So I stopped dating to save everyone, including myself, a lot of pain. It sucks, but staying alone works. Just sucks when the thoughts come at night. Same here, I really freaking like this girl and have for years, but I just won't tell her on the off chance she says yes, but later down the line it ends up going wrong. The risk of the bad thoughts coming back isn't worth it, but then again it's not nice being alone all the time. Getting a girl isn't the highest on my list of priorities, and I'm not really looking for that sort of thing right now. I'm still in school, and I don't want some short-term thing that'll last maybe a month. Tried it, wasn't a fan. I want commitment, and that's something I don't really see at my age. On top of that, I haven't really found a girl that's to my liking. So yeah, there's a few reasons. Ultimately, I'm at a point in my life where I'm content being alone. I want to live my most meaningful and fulfilling days however I see fit, as I have enough self-awareness to acknowledge that I'm simply not interested in being in a meaningful romantic relationship. For a decade, I had to slowly learn to value my freedom, making decisions for myself, and become accountable for my own actions and committed life goals. Besides, too often I've seen people who go into a committed relationship on the grounds that their partner completes them. You need to be a whole, happy person on your own terms before sharing your life with someone else. When you get burned enough times, as age progresses and options narrow, you simply learn to keep potential partners at arm's length. I don't relate to most of the people in my grade, and the few that I do relate to I don't want to ask out so that it doesn't ruin our friendship. Nobody has asked me out, probably due to the fact that I'm unpopular and considered to be a nerd by most of my grade. I also have a reputation of looking at the Wikipedia page for chlorine gas during class, so that can't help. Conclusion: because I'm an unpopular nerd. I think part of my issue is that my mentality is that of someone 10 or more years my senior. I had to grow up fast, so when I meet people my age it feels like I'm meeting a child for the most part. A lot of men my age are not mature at all. Also, I want a chicken farm, and it brings me a lot of joy looking through my chicken catalog and dreaming about one day ordering those chickens. That could be part of it. 28-year-old male who just found out last year to be on the autistic spectrum, replying, I don't think I'm a viable option to be participating or even making myself available to romantic relationships. Gaining adapting to new life experiences is difficult sometimes, and I rather do it at my own pace rather than to fail live up to somebody's expectations. My self-esteem isn't always so great, so gaining a romantic interest only to be given up on would only kick it down. That's why I rather go for friendships if I like an individual, as I don't feel the burden to live up to expectations to be weighing as much. But it has to be met with reciprocity. I'm done with one-sided communications. Dated a young lady that is autistic. It was legitimately one of my favorite relationships over the years. I miss her from time to time. She was really into her roommate, so I pushed her to tell him because I valued her happiness. They are still together. I'm ugly and haven't talked to anyone in 2 years. Ugly gang. I'm so skinny I suspect I'll be single forever lol. I've even been directly told by a drunk woman I like that she loves my personality, but I'm just too thin to even consider dating. She said that to me almost word for word. That one still keeps me up sometimes. I have an eating disorder I inherited from my mother, so it's pretty unlikely I'll be able to gain much more weight, let alone maintain it. I've learned being skinny as a male is pretty much a death sentence for dating. I also don't exactly have the prettiest face to make up for it. I have plenty of friends including men or women and get along with most people well, and I'm very social, which kinda makes it all the more depressing. I know it's my appearance that's destroying my chances, not just a lack of social skills. I could improve my social skills if that was my problem, but well, I guess I'm just fricked. Or not fricked. Frick, whatever. On the plus side, I can do whatever I want all the time. On the downside, I spend quite a lot of that time feeling miserable and lonely. Gotta love being screwed from the start by your genetics. Self-esteem issues. Anyone I like enough to date deserves better than me. I have a question for you. I suspect that this person I really care for a lot also really cares a lot for me, but they push me away despite never fighting, having any disagreements, or ever a bad time or issue of any type. In fact, we've always really enjoyed each other's company. So my question is, would you, or have you just given up on someone despite really liking them because you thought that they'd just leave you anyway and couldn't possibly be happy with you, and they would be disappointed, thinking you're doing them a favor? If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.